an exciting night here in the NBL, folks. I know everybody in the NBL looks forward to this night because it is the beginning of the cycle. It is time to finally get Madden 19 underway, and the only way to do that is to select the teams our league will be playing with. It is the NBL Selection Show. It is live here at twitch.tv/NBL Network. What a night here on the network. I'm your network director, OSU, your host for tonight, and I've got three fantastic comrades to go through all 32 owners, which you will see scrolling on the top of the screen, and they will make their selections for who they will play with throughout the entire Madden 19 cycle. We've got the commish Bomber, we got the co-commish Lip, and we got Sonny. He doesn't get a cool title because, you know, it's creative something. I don't know. What a night, as always, folks, and we appreciate everybody tuning in here on Twitch. Bomber, this is just one of those nights everybody looks forward to. An absolutely fantastic night where we finally get to see who... Some people will get to pick the teams that are going to lead them to glory. Some will get stuck with the teams that will lead them to misery. But whatever happens, it's an exciting night here on the network.
Yeah, another season, another cycle, the annual team selection show. Nothing really beats that in my mind. This is when hype and hope is at its finest hour right now here on the Madden 19 team selection show. Anybody can go anywhere except, you know, one thing, the number one pick is going to go Detroit Lions because we're not changing that around because we bleed Honolulu blue. But OSU, I'm really excited to be here. This is arguably my favorite show of the entire cycle of everything that we do, man. I absolutely love the team selection show, and I'm as boring as it gets. I always go with the Lions, but it's still very entertaining with me, 1 to 32, and I think it signifies one other thing, is that we go August to August all year round. That's why the website's 365.maddenbomberleague.com.
Shout out to Double O Andy in the chat saying, love what y'all do for CFM. Lip, this is just a fun night where we sort of get to see where people are going, what sort of decisions are in their head. I think in the league, Lip, this is one of the most talked about shows because people start talking about this for months ahead of time. And if there's one thing we've learned here, it's that most people are liars here in the NBL.
But the big thing is, somebody said it best earlier, this is the time of the year where you make a decision and you are stuck with it for an entire cycle. Like Bomber said, we go August to August, so whatever team you select tonight is the team that you've got to roll with the entire cycle. No matter what happens, you got to stick with them and make it work no matter what happens, and it's a special night. Very exciting to see who gets what team, what people are forced to go make decisions. We talk about halfway through the draft, it seems like people pick teams a little bit on the team and a little bit more based on who's already in the division, so that's an exciting thing to watch, even as the night goes on into the later picks.
All right, Sonny, you've been looking at this game from every angle. We've seen the spreadsheets on 4Verts. You can follow him on Twitter at T4Verts. We've seen every bit of analysis we could see from you. What are you looking for tonight? What sort of surprises do you think are in store? And what's the team maybe you're most hotly looking at as to where they're going to go in the top 32?
Well, there's a lot of it when you look at from kind of this team standpoint. There's a few dominoes I look to fall. And then there'll be some runs. I think one domino I'm looking to fall is the first team into the AFC South. You've got the Jaguars, you've got the Titans. I think once you see one team go, you're going to get a little bit of a run there to fill out that division. Another team I'm kind of watching is the Cleveland Browns. I think where the Cleveland Browns go is going to dictate a lot in this selection show because that Browns team is a solid young team up and coming. They did win a couple titles in the last cycle. So that's another one of those dominoes I think that could fall. And then I look to the NFC for two teams, the LA Rams and the New Orleans Saints. Those are two teams I'm watching because I think those two teams are two of the better teams out there that when those teams go, especially when you look to the Rams, that division's not great. It'll be interesting to see how that fills out.
Should be a fantastic night, folks. Again, watch that ticker up above. We'll keep that updated throughout the show. But let's get team selection officially underway. As shout out to our friends from the Dynasty joining us in the chat. Expert saying, bunch of Dynasty guys in here showing our support. They were awesome. Expert came on during our tournament, our 12-hour stream, as well as throughout the entire tournament. So it was a lot of fun getting to know Expert and hanging out with him. Let's get to team selection, starting off with the #1 overall pick. It is, of course, the Commissioner Bomber. And as you can see from the top 5, folks, there's not a whole lot of suspense. Lip, we all know where he's going to go. He's going to go to Detroit. Barring some weird coincidental heart attack where he accidentally types in the wrong team, it's going to be Bomber with the Detroit Lions once again, a team he has had plenty of success with.
Yeah, and the big thing that I'm looking at here is I've heard a lot about this one player, Frank Ragnow from the Detroit Lions. I was always asking, how good is this guy? They drafted him out of Arkansas. He's a rookie, 77 overall. That's the big thing. That's the thing that Bomber gets excited about whenever the Detroit Lions draft the interior guys so that he can go and find the skill players and all of that fun stuff. So that's one guy I'm watching to see how it develops this cycle. And, of course, Bomber top 5 teams there being the Lions. Does not surprise anybody.
Sonny, any chance of a surprise here?
No chance of a surprise here. To Lip's point, Frank Ragnow, he's a solid O lineman. It's going to give Bomber something to work with to start with. There's some good guys there on the line. But one thing that Bombers never really started out with is a really good rookie halfback. Amir, I'm not going to even say that he was good, but Kerryon Johnson is definitely a stud. I see Andy in the chat actually pointing that out as well. I think that is going to help Bomber out more than anything, is having a young athletic halfback from the start he can develop. That is actually a dangerous combo for the already spectacular passing attack of Detroit.
All right, let's just get the suspense over with. We all knew where he was going. He is going to the Detroit Lions, #1 overall, a 79 overall team going out of the box. Top players, Darius Slay, Golden Tate, and LeGarrette Blount. Bomber going Lions. This is a different look than you've seen in past years. Still Matty Stafford at the helm. You still got guys like Slay and Tate, but maybe a little look, maybe getting some youth in, especially offensive line at running back. What are you looking at this team out of the box?
Well, every time that I draft the Detroit Lions and they draft a lineman, it's one less lineman I got to draft throughout the cycle, so I absolutely love it. Shout out to Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, Frank Ragcow, whatever your name is. Then we brought in TJ Lang. We brought in Ricky Wagner. So they've been doing a phenomenal job. They're almost working hip and hip with me right now, as far as they're just getting people that I don't want to waste the boring draft picks on. So, yeah, I went ahead and I take the Detroit Lions, and I'm excited what we have. I mean, Darius Slay's, I think he's 27, 28 years old. Golden Tate, obviously older, 30. LeGarrette Blount's older. But it's all about my man from the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford. I'm happy to have him back. I didn't have him at the end of last cycle. And, man, it really hurt seeing him in Pittsburgh Steeler colors. But now he's back in that Honolulu blue. And I promise you one thing. You're staying on the Detroit Lions this entire cycle. That's right, Matt Stafford. I'm making a commitment to you right now. University of Georgia, former #1 overall pick. And that's enough. I want to talk about the Detroit Lions.
Lions.
So I selected them, and I love Matt Stafford.
Well, I think it's very clear. I think everybody buys into that. As we have team selection underway, let's go to the #2 overall pick. It is also somebody on this here panel. It is Lip, the co-commissioner himself. Let's go to Bomber. Bomber, Lip has been the Pittsburgh Steelers overall. You look at this top 5, a lot of interesting teams. We know he likes the Jacksonville Jaguars, played them a little bit. New York Giants with Saquon Barkley. But he's been the Steelers. Bomber, do you expect any surprise here at #2?
You know, Lip always likes to talk and dabble as if he's going to go outside, but he has actually been other teams other than the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NBL. He's been the Chicago Bears. He's been the Washington Redskins. I know a lot of people forget about the Redskins. That's probably a good trivia question, actually, Lip, that we could ask in the future that I probably just spoiled and ruined right now. He had a great run with the Chicago Bears. Never got to that ultimate championship. Never won with Trent Redmond, but Trent Redmond, arguably, we like to say, the best quarterback to never win a championship. Now, Pittsburgh Steelers have won a lot of championships. There's a pedigree. When you think of Pittsburgh Steelers, you think of Madden Bomber League, you think of Lip Ripper. Now, if he goes elsewhere, does he – I think the more important question is, would he lose that sense of, wait, Lip's not the Steelers no more? Now I'm confused on where he is. I don't think he wants to lose that. That's why I think he stays the Pittsburgh Steelers. But he does love the team. He is a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers team, but he does like to mix it up as well. So would I be kind of – thinking, oh, man, maybe he goes elsewhere right now? No, now he stays Pittsburgh. But in 2 to 3 Maddens, I don't think this #2 pick stays exactly as concrete as the #1 pick might be. And I forgot your question you originally asked. So I don't know.
You just said any.
Talking,
Sonny, I'll ask you the question because apparently I'm just going to ask you it over. Do you expect any surprise here?
It's a 2-horse race to me. It's Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, and Pittsburgh a heavy favorite. Jacksonville, the dark horse here. Lip threw it out last year, Jacksonville possibly, and he said after he picked Pittsburgh that he really wanted to go Jacksonville, but, in his heart, he just couldn't do it. I think we're going to run into the same issue tonight. I think as much as he wants to try something new, as much as I've even tried to talk him into something new, a little behind-the-scenes action there, I think he stays with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, folks. Well, if you were betting on the heavy underdog, the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Pittsburgh Steelers, get yourself your money. Lip is going to Jacksonville. He could not resist that team.
You're lying.
83 overall. Jalen Ramsey.
Hold on, wait, whoa, are you serious?
Hey, I don't.
wow,
I just get sent the information. I just get sent the information. Now, before we throw it to Lip
hold on. I'm covering the Jacksonville Jaguars this cycle on building the franchise. Probably gonna be the next year, year 2. And I just want to say this. Looks like I'm gonna be covering a little bit of lip ripper football this year with the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a surprise pick! I know Sonny Weaver. He's got his eyes open. I'm sorry, OSU. I'm caught off guard.
Before we get to Lip to listen to sort of what he was thinking, the Jaguars, of course, one of the best secondaries in the game. Jalen Ramsey is an absolute stud, 97 overall, and he's, 24 years old. A.J. Boye, 94. That defense is a stud. You look at the top 3 players, and that doesn't even mention Leonard Fournette. Let's throw it to the man who has shocked the Madden world, shocked the NBL world, shocked the world in general. Lip, leaving Pittsburgh, going to Jacksonville. What was the biggest factor in making the switch from Pittsburgh to Jacksonville?
It was a tough decision. I love Pittsburgh. I love the Steelers, but I am completely ready for something new. I am ready to leave an offense, and I'm ready to go to a defense and play with a good defense. And that's really the big thing. I want to do something different. I want to do something new. And I'll probably end up back in Pittsburgh for 20. But this year, we're doing something different, something new. We're going to take Blake Bortles, and we're going to try to turn him into an NBL champion. So this is where it starts. And this is what I felt. This is what I wanted to do. So I'm going with it.
Sonny, your thoughts?
Oh, sure. You can hear it in his voice, the nerves. He's shaking. This is a brand new Lip, guys. You talk about the change. He said he wants something new, a change of scenery. This is a guy who just changed jobs, just got married this year, is having a baby. He is all about change. This is a new Lip ripper for us this year, guys.
Wait, hold on. This sounds more like a busted Lip. I think Lip looks scared over there. He's immediately regretting this decision. I'm going to take Blake Bortles. No, he doesn't. I don't see the conviction in his voice. Ben Roethlisberger, don't answer the call. He's calling you from Jacksonville right now. He's trying to bring you over. It's not going to happen. Don't answer it. Just ignore him. He just left Pittsburgh, the Steel City. He was just at Heinz Field physically. What was it, a day ago, OSU?
Yeah,
a day or two ago,
like
he was literally at Heinz Field as he misspelled the name. Maybe that was a shots fired, a passive-aggressive moment from Lip that we didn't pick up on. Oh, I'm completely shocked. This is a ripple-down effect, too. This is changing the entire draft right now. I can't believe it.
Domino effect, Sonny. You talked about him, one of the first teams in the AFC South to go. Well, it's going at number 2. Now let's go to number 3. Another one of our admins here in the NBL. It is Train top 5. Browns, Cowboys, Rams, Chiefs, Texans. Mr. Ripper, Mr. Ripstaffer. A lot of talks with N-Train. A lot of talks of where he's going. Thoughts on where you see the N-Train pulling into the station?
I honestly didn't think that the Cowboys were a serious thing. He's been saying it for a long time. But it's weird. He honestly, they really are in his top 5, and not just because they're on the graphic, just because of how much he's talked about them. I want to say that he's going to go to the Browns, but it's almost to the point where everybody thinks he's going to the Browns, and that's where Train goes completely different. So I honestly look at that Rams team. That defense fits how Train plays, so I could definitely see him going to the Rams here. But like I said, nobody really knows. Everyone kind of thinks Cleveland, but nobody is confident in that.
Sonny, your thoughts on where you think N-Train is going to end up here at pick number 3?
Cleveland Browns, or he's dead to me.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well, that's easy
okay.
enough.
I just want to get a quick point. When you did say N-Train and you said top 5, which you were referencing the graphic on the screen, right? That showed the top 5 teams.
Yes.
My immediate response, I almost blurted out. No, he's not top 5.
He's not top 5.
What are we talking about?
Let's see who we got going in the chat. Colby saying Train to Dallas. MBM saying going Rams. The Dynasty saying Cowboys. The Governor saying Browns. N-Train. He's pulling into Houston. He's going Houston Texans at number 3. 79 overall, but no shortage of talent. J.J. Watt, of course, an absolute beast at 98 overall. DeAndre Hopkins, a fantastic wide receiver. Tyrann Mathieu, of course, the Honey Badger at 93 overall. The N-Train's pulling into Houston. Sonny Weaver, N-Train's dead to you, isn't he?
Yeah, Lip. Actually, I'm going to throw this to Lip first.
Lip, your thoughts?
What's Sonny? What's Sonny all about?
Sonny said that Train was dead to him because he didn't go Browns. Is he dead to you because he didn't go Browns?
I mean, that was if I went Steelers, but I didn't go Steelers.
That's not how I remember that. That's not how I remember that. A handshake used to mean something once upon a time, and a handshake means nothing today.
But the Houston Texans is an irrelevant pick. It really doesn't change anything. Should have went Browns. It was open. Man, this is going to change a lot of things down the stretch. OSU.
Yeah.
Opens up Cleveland, bro. I know we've had some talks behind the scenes. We didn't bring up the Browns, but hey, I'm just going to say this. That opens them up for you, bro.
It's true.
All right. This is wild. This is wild right now. And then who do we have next? We have October, then Babito, and Bob always goes somewhere crazy too. So I mean, let's just keep it rolling.
Next up on the list, of course, is October, one of our other admins here in the MBL. And Bomber, this is one of those the Lions going #1. I think everybody expects October to head back to Philly. He took a year off, went to the 49ers, tried to build a team out there. But with how good the Eagles are out of the box, you got to think October's going Philly no matter what.
Okay, if you really want to throw a wrench into the plans of this stream and what I thought things were going to go out, and I didn't go politicking trying to figure out where everyone's going to go. I just kind of sat back, and I know where certain people are going to go, and certain people messaged me. And so far, I obviously didn't speak to Lip, but I just assumed he was going Steelers. We talk quite frequently. We don't really talk about that kind of stuff, though. So I was shocked by that. And Train, not so much shocked about him going somewhere where I didn't think, but Houston, a little shocked about that. But if this Philadelphia Eagle team is not owned by October right now, this will be the biggest, most WWE spin Monday Night Raw run-in at the end of the show that I've ever witnessed here on NBL team selection, because there's no way right now. I am 99% sure October's taking these Philadelphia Eagles. One, because he left and had a horrible experience last year, and absence makes the heart grow fonder. Am I right, Sonny? I mean, you go away from a team, and it just kind of makes you feel like, man, I just want to go back home. And I think that's the situation he's at right now, and that's why I think he's going back Philly. Plus, Philly has a tremendous team. You can't deny that.
Yeah, and like you said, it is rough, especially with October leaving and then watching Philadelphia do so poorly last cycle. You got to feel like there's a little bit of a duty there to go back and reclaim that and help them get back.
Oh, well, let's remove all suspension. Yeah, he's going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Right. One of the top teams out of the box, 91 overall. Fletcher Cox, Malcolm Jenkins. Lip, it really wasn't a surprise. You know how much October loves the Eagles, and with a team this good, it's no surprise that they're going this high.
Yeah, they are freakishly talented. They have a lot of depth, a lot of great players, and like Bomber said, with him leaving and going to the 49ers and doing something different for a cycle, it made so much sense for him to come back to the Eagles this time. So this really doesn't surprise me. So the big question is now, what does he do with this team? I'm excited to watch his team. There's two other teams in that division that I think are very good. So there's going to be some competition. I'm excited to watch it, excited to see who goes and fills out the rest of that division, with October leading it off with the Eagles.
Sonny, I'm looking at the top four. Everybody talks about the wild cards in the top four. I don't think anybody. I get asked because we did have the competition to see who could pick the top 32, but did anybody see it going this way?
No, I don't think so. I think the 2 and 3 threw everything out of whack. So right now we are just in anarchy, total anarchy.
Well, what is going on here? Really, LSU, I'll give you time to catch up on the ticker if that's what you're working on. Right now, we got Bob coming up. Bob is probably, I think me and Lip can attest to this, Bob is probably the biggest kind of, I wouldn't say X factor, but kind of wild card, I thought, but I don't even know who I'm speaking to. Lip, is that you over there? So I'm about to converse with you. I have to know if that's really you over there, or if someone's got some kind of ransom held up, or you had to go Jacksonville, but we'll discuss that later. Bob has always been a wild card. I heard Bob's probably going to go to the NFC. I'm thinking he goes NFC South is what I'm thinking. But
the top 5 is 4 NFC teams and the Titans. Oh, wait, hold on. Here's the Chargers up there, too. Boy, the Chargers were a team. Bomber, the Chargers were a hot team before the game, before people got their hands on the sticks. Then everybody played with them, and it sort of fell pretty hard.
I'll tell you the big thing about them. when you play with the Chargers and you play with Phillip Rivers throwing motion is exactly in the game how it is in real life. I mean, exactly. And it takes 6 seconds for the ball to get out of his hands. It is unbelievable how accurate that is. And a lot of people that I talked to played with, they said they just really weren't comfortable with Phillip Rivers. So that really knocked the Chargers down a lot. They have a great pass rush on defense. They have good corners. It was a lot of Phillip Rivers just being clunky, and it was hard for people to get used to. And that's what pushed a lot of people off the Chargers early.
Yeah, we talked about this before, OSU. Phillip Rivers, he's got that windy little sidewinder. I don't know what kind of throw, but the delivery's not pretty. It's not that fast. At least it feels slow. And just the trajectory of the ball is different. Everything about it, we don't like it. It's so abnormal. And I think that's what turns people away from the Los Angeles Chargers. But they have a really big market now that they're LA. So, I mean, maybe that's something positive since we are in the owner mode.
Well, let's get to who the pick is for Bob at number 5. He is indeed going to the NFC South. It is the New Orleans Saints, 82 overall out of the box. Cam Jordan, Drew Brees, and Michael Thomas. Sonny, I could be wrong. It sort of felt like this New Orleans Saints team was one of the underrated teams in the NBL in terms of people talking about them. The Chargers had a lot of hype around them. The Saints didn't get talked about a ton, but this is a team that has a ton of talent.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a ton of talent. I think the one downfall of this Saints team, at least year one, is the fact they don't have first-round picks. So that's something to think about, especially with Drew Brees kind of hanging around on his last leg. But if you get past that, you see Michael Thomas, Marshawn Lattimore, Cameron Jordan. They've got a team built to win right away. So maybe that first pick's not a big deal because maybe that pick is going to be pick number 32.
All right, well, we are officially through all the admins here in the top 5. And we go to number 6. And there's no doubt the most handsome owner here in the NBL. It is, it's me. How's it going?
Mr. OSU, a lot of questions about this 6th pick. I mean, if you don't mind, we would like to discuss it. I'm not even going, what do we have? Are you putting up that top 5 list? Go ahead and read out the top 5.
It's top 5.
You see the win-loss record there for OSU.
I also would like
cycle.
to point out this top 5 list was a long time ago. And that the Cowboys are sitting there too. I think this was before ratings came out, and I just needed the 5th team. Apparently I put that in number 2. Hey, cheers to a long time ago.
Hey, Cowboys are always nice throwing in when you're trying to scramble and come up with an idea. I see that team get tossed around a lot. You see Los Angeles Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars, obviously not there anymore. Atlanta Falcons, Cleveland Browns. I think those are the 3 probable picks here for OSU Lip. What are you thinking here? If he's thinking Cleveland Browns, Atlanta Falcons, Los Angeles Rams, let's just say he's holding true to that. He said Cowboys are not going to be part of it. Or better yet, let's go to Sonny on this one. Sonny, where do you think? Browns, Falcons, Rams, you're the 4 verts guy. Which one of those teams would you be more interested in starting here with this number 6 pick, knowing that the Browns division has nobody in it right now. The Atlanta Falcons has Bob sitting there at the New Orleans Saints, and the Los Angeles Rams aren't filled at all either.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at here. Obviously, OSU being a Cleveland Browns fan, Lip being gone, that's really interesting here. There's something to be said about that Cleveland team. I wonder if Z-Star winning back-to-back with that kind of maybe wore some of the shine off of that team a little bit, though. You don't want to be the guy to follow up Z-Star. You look at Atlanta, Bob, if you figure Bob takes the Saints, you take Atlanta, you're looking at basically having the 2 best teams in that division, but watch out because Tampa Bay is sneaky. And then the Rams, I like that Rams team a lot. There's not a whole lot going on out in that division. I think the NFC is kind of intriguing, so I could see it going any way at this point. It really is a toss-up for me.
Yeah, and in the chat right now, the Dynasty Noob saying Falcons are the best team on the block. That is his favorite team, but I actually agree with that, Lib. What are your thoughts on that? Falcons best team out there right now?
I think Sonny's exactly right. The Saints is where I thought it was.
Whoa! I'm asking you about the Falcons here. Well, the question is,
that's what I'm saying.
Did Sonny say the Falcons were the best team?
That's what I'm getting to. I honestly thought that OSU was going to go to the Saints. Whenever we played the game, he liked them. I thought they were going to go there, but now they're gone to Bob. I think that the Falcons is the best pick because that's a good division to start out there, and that's it's a great team. So I think that's the best pick in my mind.
Great wide receiver rookie. What's his name, Sonny?
For who?
Exactly. This is
Calvin Ridley for the Falcons.
There he goes. And how good is he?
Calvin Ridley. He's good. He's a nice 1-2 with Julio.
A nice 1-2. Do you think he extends the career of Julio? So as Julio regresses maybe athletically, as far as athleticism in this Madden 19 cycle, he provides that speed and that offset that kind of makes him valuable still as a long ball threat with his size and overall ability. Oh, am I wrong in saying that?
I mean, I like Ridley as a 2 underneath with Julio as 1. I'll see how they work together as they age. I'm not sure Ridley ever kind of evolves into that 1 over top, though.
All right, so is the pick in OSU? You want to announce your own pick?
I just want to keep going with this, like, talk about OSU thing.
I don't know, dude. if you've already sent your pick in,
oh, the pick was sent in a long time ago. No,
okay.
the pick was sent in a long time.
All right, let's go.
The question is, did I update? I did. Atlanta Falcons is the pick. Heading
that's a good
to
pick.
the NFC
Love
South. Julio, we talked about it. It's not that interesting anymore. But yeah, gonna go play with Bob. I like playing Bob. You play with Bob every other year or something like that, and he's a fun guy to play with. So we got first division with 2 teams in it.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting division right now to see how it plays out. As I said, we always say the guys in the middle of the team selection. I mean, me and Lip always talk about this. They really have a big advantage. So they don't get to pick first, but they get to pick essentially the team that they select is going to be, open for probably 20, 23, 24 options there. But you get to pick your division mates, kind of, or at least 3/4 of them, 75, 50% of them. And that's kind of an advantage, Lip.
Yeah.
So right now, OSU, he's in the NFC South with Bob. Where do you see, looking at the upcoming list, who do you think takes a shot at going in that division and wants to compete with those guys?
Well, I think the big thing is, like you said, you get to pick your division mates. I don't know who would go there because I'm not too sure about the Panthers and Bucks. Actually, I know where the Bucks are going. I don't want to talk about it because I think I know where they're going. I don't want to get into it, but the other big part of that is
tell me where are they going. Just let me know.
No. With the J and M with me, but
I think. I mean, I played Jamie in like 3 or 4 quick games, and he was the Bucks every single time. I think that's where he's going. So I think that division will get filled out pretty quick. But the other thing about being able to pick your division mates, you get to be able to pick people that have similar schedules, have similar availability, stuff like that, and that's always a big thing, for some people around the league.
Well, let's move on.
What
do we have?
Sad as it is to move on from me, let's move on to the assistant.
Hey, that's a good pick. Okay, before we move on, OSU,
sure.
let's touch a little bit more on the Atlanta Falcons. So, top 2 teams selected so far, in my opinion, I'll preface it with that. Atlanta Falcons, Jacksonville Jaguars. So you got one from the AFC, one from the NFC. In the top 6 picks, those have been the best teams by far, and I like the Falcons better, Lip. I'm sorry, just because, obviously, you're trying to make Blake Bortles into something because you're very aware of who that guy actually is. And Matt Ryan, I think, is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and I think he's top 5 in this game. I think he's a beast. And I think he has better weapons. No AR. It's sad that you took over the Jaguars and they lost Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
He's such a big Penn State fan.
Motor in the chat just came in and said, Lip went Jacksonville, so good job tuning in. Let's go to number 7.
Wait. Who said what?
He is shocked that Lip went Jacksonville.
Who is that?
That's Motor. Big Kev joining us in the chat says, look at this ugly mug and listen to the other ugly mug. Thank you. Let's get to the 7th overall pick. That is Unisolated, the assistant network director. Sonny, Unisolated, one of your division mates from Madden 18, went Jacksonville Jaguars, not available. Cross that off the top 5 list. The New England Patriots, a team we know he loves, available at number 1. But he's also got the Bucks, the Rams, and the Packers on his top 5. Where do you see Unisolated going here at number 7?
Well, he has assured me there is no possible way he takes the New England Patriots. Not one bit whatsoever. So I'm going to take him at face value for that because I think he has a disdain for him for some weird reason as a fan. I'm not real sure why. Jacksonville's obviously off the board. Tampa Bay, kind of an interesting team there. We said look out for that. Would be quite hilarious to watch Unisolated and OSU play all year round, especially with Bob's schedule. Throw Bob in there, and Unisolated wants to play immediately after every advance. Bob's never around after every advance.
That's a fact.
So there's a lot of different ways you go there.
What did you say about Unisolated? Does he still do that? Like,
he
wants to play?
He
does.
He says that whenever he has to play after, long after advance, he gets worse because he thinks about the game too much, and then he sucks.
Well, yeah, and being a commissioner and my availability being as open as it is, and Lip knows this. We were in a division before. We play I like to play quick, but I got to do some things. I have some responsibilities here once the league advances. And he was Green Bay Packers once, and he would not stop harassing me to the point where I was like, dude, I'm not playing you tonight if you continue to DM me. So, yes, he's an instant player. So, with that being said, I hope Dark Brawler's watching. That's the division guy you need to follow. Follow Unisolated wherever he goes. Shout out to Dark Brawler, right? OSU, you would agree to that, right?
Love it. I love Dark Brawler. Love him to death. What a guy. Let's get to the pick. Unisolated with that top 5. Let me say this. He is not going anywhere in his top 5. He's also going to a division that already has a team in it.
Okay.
He's going to the Tennessee Titans at number 7. Lip, you get to play with old Unisolated a couple times a year. This Titans team, young, athletic. Delaney Walker, a fantastic weapon at tight end. Marcus Mariota, of course, at quarterback. Lip, this is your new division mate. What do you foresee from this Tennessee Titans team, a team that may be flying a little under the radar because of that Jacksonville Jaguars team in the AFC South?
Well, it's exciting because I also like to play right after advance because I'm the same way. I get too nervous if I think about it for too long. But this is a great team because you've got Taylor Lewan and Jack Conklin at tackles to start, and they're going to be there an entire cycle because they're very young, very talented tackles. So getting to Mariota is going to be very tough with this team. And then they've got some defenders. Not even listed on here is that corner, Sonny. I don't remember his name, but he's going to develop. Adoree Jackson is an absolute beast. He's going to develop into a very nice player for them. So it's an exciting team.
Well, a lot. I think everybody can agree. Ton of surprises already here in the NBL team selection. Hey, if you're out there, you're like, hey, this looks like a lot of fun. I'd love to participate in team selection next year. Go over to 365.maddenbombleague.com under the application tab. You can apply for the NBL. Apply now because our waiting list for the Grid Development League is growing with Madden 19. So if you're interested, 365.maddenbombleague.com. All right, let's talk about another player on this panel. Then we can be done with this entire panel. It is Sonny Weaver.
Showtime.
Say it
Showtime.
right. OSU. Sonny Weaver,
the Sonny Weaver.
No, the underachiever.
I was going with Sonny Weaver, the NBL creative director.
I thought legit you said Sonny Weaver, the Sonny Weaver.
The Sonny Weaver.
Who was the one on the draft that said that with the college one?
That was Hop.
Hop, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every team was
the Notre Dame. That's not how it works. That's
so
not
he
how it
wasn't
works.
sure which ones to actually give it to, so he said, you know what, I'm giving it to all of them.
I mean, Bomber, here's the question with Sonny. It's always been the question. The Bengals, we know how quickly he ran away from the division, went to the Tennessee Titans, but there's nobody to run from now in that division. Does that make him more likely to go to the Bengals?
Yeah, I think he goes back to the Bengals, but if he really wanted to be an opportunist here, he should take the Pittsburgh Steelers and then win with the Steelers and then show Liv that, hey, see, I told you it was just the Steelers. That's why you were beating me all those times. So there would be a really passive-aggressive play here, but if it doesn't work out in your favor, it's a complete waste of a cycle. NBL, no restarts all year round. He's got to go with the Bengals here. That would be just hey, but Liv, that coming into my head right now would not be a bad little thing to say. You know, if he did win with the Steelers, you go, see, Lip, I told you, it was all about the Steelers. That's the only reason why you were beating me so much.
It would be so terrible after literally 30 seasons, Sonny, to win a championship with the Steelers. I don't know what I would do. I'd lose my mind.
Are you worried right now who might take the Steelers right now? I mean,
no.
We all know who we're hoping to take the Steelers. I want Decadog to go to Pittsburgh just to watch him.
I just have always separated the real Steelers from my NBL Steelers. They're two different things. Whatever team I am in NBL, I'm all in on, and whoever takes the Steelers, they can run them however they want, and I will hopefully be able to sleep.
All right. Well,
let's get the pick.
Yeah, hey,
Sonny Weaver,
real quick. That's like the 5th time in the last 4 broadcasts in which we've said the exact same words. Oh
boy.
To start something at the same time. I noticed we did it on 12-hour stream a couple times. It's
listen,
weird.
We're just in sync. We
it's
did 12
very
hours.
weird.
It's I don't like it at all. Yeah. Sonny Weaver not going to Cincinnati, as Dark Brawler said. Definitely he's going to Cincinnati. Sonny Weaver going to the team I think most people sort of expected him to take, the Los Angeles Rams, a very, very good team. Of course, with one of the 99 overalls in Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh. Todd Gurley. That doesn't even get to the weapons at wide receiver with Brandon Cooks, with quarterback at Jared Goff. Sonny, speak. What do you like about this Rams team, and how close of a decision was it with maybe some of your other teams?
So a couple days ago, I really was going back to the Bengals. I thoroughly enjoyed playing with Lip once upon a time. As much as I came out on the losing end of a lot of those things, it was a good time. It was fun. And then Lip kept telling me that he was going to go Jags, and I did not believe him. And then he does it. And for about 10 minutes here, I've been freaking out. No clue where I was going because I had kind of come to this like calm realization that I was going back to the Bengals. And it didn't happen. So I went out west to the Rams. I think there's some good things out there at the defense. There's some things that have to be fixed age-wise on the back end of this defense here quickly. But, yeah, it's interesting. New change. I've never been an NFC team. This will be my first NFC team ever in NBL, and I'm excited.
And enjoy the lottery picks. Welcome to the NFC. It's the big dog conference.
Well, let's get to the next pick on the schedule because we don't need to talk about Sonny that much. Let's get to number 9 overall. And it is Z-Star,
oh, wow.
Commissioner of the Grid,
Absolutely.
owner of the Cleveland Browns, back-to-back NBL Super Bowl champion, and one and done in the NBL 64-player tournament. Top 5, of course, as he is hashtag top 5 now. He's got Cleveland Browns, Chargers, Falcons, Giants, Saints. 2 of those teams are gone. Browns, Chargers, Giants still alive. Bomber, this guy had a lot of success with Cleveland. It's wide open division right now. This was a guy who had success with Cleveland while Lip was there. Does that make it more enticing, or is this one of those moments where maybe Z-Star goes, well, I've had my success, let me go somewhere else?
Yeah, I think, he's a New Yorker. The Giants are his team. They're listed number 4 right there. I didn't think he'd think the Browns were going to fall to him, but I think he's already committed probably to the Giants. There's another team I've talked to him about that he's interested in. He is going to be our candidate for building the franchise if one of these teams is selected. Now, if he goes out on a limb and goes elsewhere to some small market team that people probably don't want to watch, that's probably not going to happen. But I'm really interested to see where he goes. All his options are pretty much available right now, so it's going to come down to pretty much him DMing Train and letting us know where he's going. So it's going to be really interesting here at number 9, Commissioner of the Grid. He did such a phenomenal job with Grid. If we can take a second, OSU.
Oh, yeah.
The people that he brought in, I mean, you look at Sklamberg, you look at
Jamie.
Yeah, you look at Jamie, you look at Double A. You look at
MBM.
Dark Bro. No. MBM, absolutely. There's so many phenomenal people that he.
Cougs, the MVP. Cougs, the MVP of the Lake House weekend. Yeah. I mean, by far. Yeah. Threw up all over Sonny's porch. It was amazing.
And I'll tell you what, just how not personal the NBL is. Cougs is drafting like 31, and he went to the Lake House, and he said, man, do these guys not like me? No, man, it's just, awesome. He came in really late. I mean,
all right.
But let's go. Yeah.
Let's get it.
What do we got?
He's going to the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, the darling team of Madden 18, the team everybody clamoring for. Still an unbelievable offensive line, still a good defense. Still got Zeke Elliott back there and Dak Prescott. This was a team that maybe takes a step back, definitely in terms of overall. But this is a team that has a lot of talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Questions maybe defensively, but he gets to go to America's team. And right now, that whole division is open other than Z-Star.
Yeah, it's a strange pick being a Giants fan going to the Cowboys, but I think I know what he's thinking. I think that when everybody played this game, they realized how important offensive line is going to be. And this, I would say, is probably the best offensive line in the game. It might be number 2. I'm not sure. But that offensive line is great. It's going to be great for the entire cycle. You've got Zeke in the backfield. Dak is a good young quarterback to start with. So I think once he finds a wide receiver to be a dominant number 1, that offense is set. And then he can just start working on the defense, build a great defense with the Browns last cycle, winning 2 Super Bowls. So I actually like the pick if that was his thinking, with the offensive line being really important.
And I got an announcement to make real quick, OSU. Building the franchise season 1. That's going to be season 33 of the NBL for Madden 19. We're going to announce it right now. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys and Z-Star. That's who we're going to be covering for that one season. Remember, every season we're going to be switching teams. We're starting off with the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, America's team.
It's going to be very popular.
On YouTube.com/Madden Bomber League.
We all know who isn't going to be a fan of Z-Star. That's Big Cap, who we know hates the Cowboys. So. But then again,
big shout out to Big Cap. Second place in the 64-player tournament.
Anywho, let's get to our number 10 pick as we round out the top 10. It is the man ahead of Bananas, because we all know he deserves it. It's JY Movie Guy at number 10. Top 5, an interesting top 5, because all these teams suck. Panthers, Dolphins, Browns, Jets, Bucks. They're all very bad teams. But JY, looking for the team-building angle. Sonny, where do you see JY, a guy who does a ton of work for the NBL, especially graphics-wise with the Bleacher Report team? He has the luxury of a top 10 pick. There are a lot of good teams still out there. Where are you seeing JY going?
I think the Cleveland Browns make a lot of sense for JY. He's going to try to tell you that it's not about winning for him. If it was, he would quit a long time ago. But what I'll say is this is a team set up to win now, so maybe they can prop JY up. He tends to be more of a running, not so much passing kind of guy. I think Cleveland's got an offensive line they could probably do that with. They've got some good backs there. I'm going to go with Cleveland Browns here for JY.
Let's see where JY is going here at number 10. Another, I think, surprise pick. He's going to a division that has no teams taken right now. JY is going to the Miami Dolphins. A top 10 pick for the Dolphins. Some young talent. Cam Wake, still a very good player. Lip, I think this is just less a surprise of JY. They're surprised we get where, oh, I'm surprised that guy went there. This is, I think, a surprise of that team went that high with a top 10 pick for the Dolphins, who a lot of people were saying were a bottom 5 team.
Yeah, I don't think that a lot of people had the Dolphins that high. Sorry, that high. You know, outside of maybe the couple of people that are fans. I think maybe only Todd is a fan of the Dolphins. So I'm not sure that anybody really thought of them going in the top 25 or so. But it's a good team to start if you want to do that rebuilding project. A lot of their guys are a little bit older, going to be able to play a couple seasons, and then Jay was going to be able to go to the draft and start building his team. So if this is what he wanted to do, team building, this is a good start, and it is very surprising, but this is what he picked at number 10. So I hope he has success with it.
Hey, I need to interject here. Is this JY's second Paysinger moment?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This might be the real Paysinger moment. That other one might just be a flash in the pan after this cycle's done, because the Dolphins are not looking very good on paper. In papel.
While we got a second, as we've just finished the top 10, we've got to remind everybody, hit that follow button so every time we go live. NBL Live is going to be starting up in just about 2 weeks at this point, so don't miss out on that. We got a ton of broadcasts coming up, as well as our original shows kicking off once again, as well as the newly announced Building the Franchise Dallas Cowboys, hosted by Bomber. And I got to give a big shout out right now to N-Train right now, who's doing just a fantastic job of running and communicating with all these guys and getting their picks in. So big shout out to N-Train. Got to give him some love on the broadcast. Yeah, hey, Bomber, Dolphins top 10. I don't think anybody would have taken that bet if you'd offered them some good odds on that one, because it's a team that needs a lot of work.
Yeah, it's definitely a rebuild team. If that's what you're going for and you're looking to rebuild, you want to go to a division that's completely a blank slate right now. We say the AFC East as the AFC least, but they do have the New England Patriots, who's a really good team. You can see someone pounce on that opportunity maybe in the next few picks. But yeah, he goes to the Miami Dolphins team that's arguably sunny. I mean, for Verts, did you have them ranked as the worst franchise team in the AFC East? I would say so, right?
The worst?
Jets are the worst. They're pretty low or far down there. I had the Dolphins somewhere around the bottom 5. I know that. Now, they do have some pieces, as I explained to Tout the other day. Parker and Stills are 2 good wide receivers there. They've got some pieces on the offensive line and a couple decent pieces on the defense. Minkah Fitzpatrick is one of those guys I'd be looking to. But, yeah, did not see them going in the top 10 whatsoever, and that is a reach.
Well, let's get to the number 11 pick, and it's an appropriate guy to be coming up now because of how this team selection has gone. It's been Bananas, and it's Bananas' time to pick, and we know Bananas right now, sitting at home, might be in a fetal position in the corner crying because his Jaguars and Titans both off the board. Lip, does it bring you a little pleasure knowing that Bananas is just very sad because he couldn't pick his top 2 teams?
No, honestly, it doesn't. I got to spend a lot of time with Bananas on the car ride. Bananas is a really good dude, but this Jaguars pick has been a couple of years on my mind, so that's why I'm going there. And it doesn't bring me joy to make Bananas upset as much as you guys probably can't believe that.
Sonny, does it bring you joy to see Bananas upset?
Yes, very much.
Okay,
so.
Got it. Let's see where Bananas is going at the number 11 pick. And a reminder to everybody out there, Bananas is behind JY in team selection. He would want me to mention that. At number 11, the Cleveland Browns get taken by Bananas, going to that open AFC.
Wow.
76 overall team.
Wow.
Very young team. Lip, you are shocked at this. Why is this so surprising to you? And where did you think he was going?
When Starr didn't take the Steelers, I mean, I knew Starr was thinking about some other teams, but I didn't think that he thought the Steelers would be open. So I thought Bananas would go to the Steelers, and that's exactly what didn't happen. So I'm shocked to see him at Cleveland because we talked about it for literally like 12 to 16 hours about this stuff. And to see him go to the Browns, I'm shocked.
I forgot you guys had that long car ride.
So he just lied to you for 12 hours.
Wow.
What a
lot of liars here.
Was a good guy.
Great friend.
Yeah,
great friend.
He doesn't even like you, bro. You literally.
All right,
me
Lip, I'll ask you the same question I asked before. Are you happy to see Banana sad now that the top 2 teams were off his list? Wow, Cleveland Browns. So that does that give us a team in every division at this point?
Negative. AFC West.
AFC West still doesn't have a team.
Chargers still hanging out there.
Yeah, Chargers Sonny, a team highly rated by both you and a lot of people, but that Phillip Rivers throwing motion, I think, has thrown a lot of people off.
Well, then just start someone else. That team is stacked. I'm not sure why they're still sitting there. I thought for sure they would not make it out of the top 10. That has got to be the best player on the board right now.
I want to give a shout out to Bananas here about taking the Cleveland Browns, because I talked about building the franchise, and that was one of the teams on the list that I want to cover. So season 2, you're probably going to see Bananas and the Cleveland Browns being covered on the building the franchise series. So that's a positive thing for viewers. We're going to get to see what Baker Mayfield.
Season 2.
It might be 3.
Well, I try not to cover Lip as much as possible here. We try to spread the love. I mean, I like Baker Mayfield. I like Dallas Cowboys, obviously a good popular team. So yeah, Lip will definitely be on the list though.
Shout out to Jamie for the 50 bits cheering and saying Nanners is a liar. It's just true. Let's get to number 12. That is one of the newer guys in the NBL, but one of the guys who's had a huge impact, especially on the NBL network. It is I Really Hate Mark, aka Jamie, our graphics guy here on the NBL network. And Bomber, this is, I think, maybe one of the guys that I think we know where he's probably going. He's talked about the Buccaneers team. Lip has had that inside information, but Packers, Jets, Giants, Chargers, all 4 of those are available. Do you see a surprise here from our graphics guy, Jamie?
Yeah, you look at Jamie, what the teams he's interested in. He actually wants to go to the Packers. He wants to play him. I mean, I spanked him around 15 to 20 times in quick games throughout, but he still keeps coming back for more. And hey, man, I'm always down for a guy that wants to come in and get beat around, man. That's definitely something I'm interested in. He should go Buccaneers, because I always encourage people, OSU, and you know this is true. Lip knows this well, to go to their home teams, to go with the teams that they love, because nothing is like winning with the team that you absolutely root for in the NFL. But if he doesn't go Buccaneers, I expect him to go Packers. But I think it's really closer to 50-50 than it should be right now. But I think it's between Buccaneers and Packers here for Jamie.
Well, let's reveal the pick here. Number 12, Jamie. It will be the 3rd team in the NFC South, going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wow. 77.
I'm kind of surprised, OSU, because he really convinced me Packers, but the guy's like a professional liar / graphics guru. So he asked me one-on-one in the chat, and he's telling me all this. I'm like, yo, yeah, come, man. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is good. He's like Aaron Rodgers to Jimmy Graham. That'd be such a nice combination. But at the end of the day, man, you got to go with your heart, and his heart's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm liking that division. I think that division is going to be very sneaky competitive. We might see multiple 3-4 users that actually win that division. Right now, you have OSU, you have Bob, and now you have Jamie. All 3 really good players.
Lip, here's the question I'll pose to you. Let's look into that crystal ball we know you have. 3 teams in the NFC South. How long will we wait to see that 4th team, the Carolina Panthers, go as we are heading into pick number 13?
It's going to be a while. It's going to be later 20s. I thought that JY might go there. I think that he likes him a lot. But then he totally shocked us with going Dolphins. I think it's going to be a while. But the 3 users in that division, like Bomber said, there's going to be a lot of competition. It's going to be exciting to watch and cover throughout this entire cycle, August. I'm very excited about it.
Let's go to the next pick, which is pick number 13. It is our resident wanderer in Fortnite. It is Porter, who just gets lost in knocking down trees. Porter, of course, we know a big Redskins fan. Redskins still on the board. Saints, Falcons off the board. Panthers, Chiefs still live. 3 out of 5 there. Sonny Porter, one of those guys, a hometown guy, played as the Redskins. Does he go back-to-back to his hometown team?
No, I think the wild card here is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had no expectation of being there. And so now that the Pittsburgh Steelers are there, I think he throws off the top 5 and he goes back and he plays with Bananas in that AFC North as Pittsburgh.
That's exactly right.
Man, that's close. Doughboy, really a Pittsburgh fan too. I was interested to see if it actually got down to him. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if Porter does that.
Yeah, all right. You guys want to know?
He didn't do it,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first full division.
Oh, no!
Porter goes to the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
At number 13.
Very smart. That's very smart, OSU, because now I'm looking at that division, and being somebody from the outside looking in, that's a very cool division. I think, even though I don't really believe in Porter much at all, Madden skills, this does actually have the opportunity to be the first ever where everybody is able to win a division at one point. I could see that happening in that division if Porter can get it together, which is, is very unlikely, but I could see that happening, man. I like that division. I think that division is cool, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, that is a very cool division. I'm very excited to see how that plays out. That's a perfect. But whenever we talked about, a lot of guys make their decisions based on where teams go. Whenever you get down to, halfway through this whole thing, people pick division mates, just as much as they pick teams sometimes. And it's a good team. You've got Kuechly, you've got Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey. There's a lot of good pieces there. If Porter can build them up, get his Madden sticks right, it's going to be a very competitive division for all 4 teams. I'm very excited to watch this whole division now.
Here's all I'm saying, as that is my division. I don't think I could ask for 3 better guys in the division, because those are 3 also of the good guys here in the NBL. So looking forward to the competition in the NFC South. That division gone by pick number 13. Sonny, does that surprise you?
Yeah, that really surprises me, especially with the teams left on the board. You've got Pittsburgh, you've got San Diego, and somehow the NFC South is filled up. The NFC's got some nice competition right now. I feel like across the board, there's going to be some good teams there. So I'm excited to see how this shakes out. And right now, if you're Doughboy, you are excited as heck that Pittsburgh's sitting there. You're just hoping it, works out.
Where is he at? Is the LA Chargers the best team left on the board right now?
I think so. I think it's got to be the Chargers. That team is built to win right now. Do not let Phillip Rivers scare you off.
Did you ask where Doughboy was?
Yeah, where's he at on the
guard? He's right there.
What is he up now?
No. Right now is number 14, which is one of our key members of our Bleacher Report team. It is Timbo at number 14. Timbo, of course, took the New England Patriots last season. Top teams on his list, well, a lot of them are gone. Texans off the board. Dolphins off the board. Saints off the board. Jets and Packers still alive. Bomber Timbo, we were talking before the show. He's one of the guys that really strategic picks his divisions well. But it's pretty wide open right now. With the NFC South closing, really the AFC West is wide open. And you just got a whole lot of choices here. Where do you see Timbo going?
Oh, were you talking to me?
Yeah. Why not?
Oh, I didn't know you said Bomber at first, man. I'm having this thing, okay? So I got the new computer OSU, right? And it's every time I don't touch it for 20 seconds, it's going to sleep mode. How do I fix that? Someone DM.
Keep moving your mouse.
I will tell you how to fix that.
All right. You can just DM it to me. Okay, so Timbo last year he took the New England Patriots, an opportunist pick. It was a very good team. I think he drafted about 2021. He went into a division and closed out the division. I think he actually was going to take the Panthers. Who did Porter end up taking? The Panthers or the Bucks? Panthers, right?
Panthers.
Obviously Panthers.
Yeah.
So he took the Panthers. I think Timbo was going to take the Panthers. I think he was going to close out the division. Porter kind of got in front of him now, and everything has changed. This list doesn't mean anything anymore. I mean, the Texans are gone. The Dolphins are gone. The Saints are gone. The Packers still out there. I mean, there's still an opportunity to go to the Packers. The Jets are still out there too. I don't know if he's still going off the list because everything's kind of changed, but I think he was probably going to take the Panthers, man. I don't know why. Something told me that he might take Cam Newton in those Panthers, but it just didn't get to him. So he might be scrambling right now for a team.
Well, we talk about team selection. How much is determined by who picks before you. We said, maybe Timbo got cut out by the Panthers by Porter taking those Panthers. Bomber, you were saying Doughboy, big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He's coming up next. Pittsburgh Steelers aren't going to be there though, because Timbo is going to Pittsburgh, the Steel City, to play out in Pittsburgh. Lip, he's taking over your team. Any advice for old Timbo?
Just treat Ben Roethlisberger nice and get rid of Le'Veon Bell, because that contract haunts you all cycle. It might be different now because we're going to see everything's going to play out differently with progression and regression. But those contracts are, especially for halfbacks, big. But like I said, this Madden's completely different. So I don't really have any advice on that because, like I said, this Madden's so different. But I wish him luck because I want to see that team succeed. But it's an interesting division with Bananas and Timbo there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, also, I want to point out, if he can just treat Ben Roethlisberger the way he treated Brady last cycle, he might be in some good hands, Lip. Way to watch him crash and burn, Lip. This is what you did. This is on your hands. Any blood that happens here, it's on you. You got to look in the mirror for this one. No, I think Timbo can do good with them. And you know what? Timbo's a big Le'Veon Bell fan, and he actually tried to bring Le'Veon Bell when I got him to the Lions. He was the bidder with me. We were tied up, and he ended up coming to Detroit. But, he's a big Le'Veon Bell fan, so now he gets to run with Le'Veon Bell. So I think he's more interested in Le'Veon Bell over the long term than Ben Roethlisberger. So I think health is going to be a big concern in Pittsburgh.
OSU, quick update here.
Yeah.
Chargers and Patriots both on the board. We forgot about the Patriots, But that is a good New England Patriots team sitting there with the LA Chargers. What's going on here? Pick 15, and both these teams are on the board.
Well, I think both teams have some flaws that have scared people off. For the Chargers, Phillip Rivers scaring people off. Also, the difficulty of running so far in this game maybe diminishes Melvin Gordon's impact, that offensive line's impact. For the Patriots, we talked about, Sonny, you put out your some of those stats, and you talked about how the Patriots are a sneaky young team. But you think about the key players on that team. Tom Brady is up there in age. Gronkowski is up there in age. Edelman's up there in age. The key players may be a little old to scare people off. We'll see if they continue to fall as we get to the halfway part. The number 15 pick, and it's Doughboy, who is everybody's saying in the chat is just crying because Sonny, I thought your post in the chat was perfect, which is he went from not expecting them to expecting them to crying right now. So Chiefs, Raiders, Cowboys, Titans, Saints, his top 5. Of those, Chiefs and Raiders, the only ones available. The AFC West, wide open. Do you see him going one of those two teams, or maybe to that third team in the AFC West, that Chargers team that's still hanging around?
Well, I think he has to go Chargers. I did not think, or I know he did not think the Chargers would be here at pick 15. He obviously likes that AFC West, so I think Chargers are the play here.
Let's see where Doughboy goes at pick number 15. We do have our first AFC West team, folks. It's the Oakland Raiders is where he is going.
Wow.
What many would probably consider the 4th best team in that division, Sonny. I mean, Chargers definitely very good. Broncos have a great defense. The Chiefs all around a decent team. The Raiders, very good team last cycle. 83 overall. Khalil Mack, of course, 98 overall. But Derek Carr takes a step back. Amari Cooper takes a step back rating-wise after a tough season. Maybe a little bit of surprise. Was Doughboy just fueled by pure sadness with this pick? It might have been. Certainly possible. Lip, are you surprised to see Doughboy go to the Raiders?
Yeah, I honestly thought that he was going to go to the Chargers. I think that he likes to take those teams that are kind of higher up there. What with the Falcons last cycle, I thought that he was going to go Chargers, but it surprises me. I'm just not sure because Khalil Mack's 27. He's going to get a big contract at some point. The line they've got 2 good players. They're 29. Like I said, I'm not too sure how it plays out with age this cycle. So everybody's got a different opinion on it. And if you think that 28, 29, 30s can still play most of the cycle, then I think it's a good team. Jordy Nelson's 33, gonna have to get some wide receiver out there after Amari Cooper.
A little old on that one because Donald Penn is up there in age.
It's just I'm not really sure about the defense, but the offense is good for the first couple of seasons. So it's an exciting team, but not the team that I thought he would take. A
lot of stuff coming in the chat. Appreciate everybody chatting. Keep them coming. Z-Star saying rip Doughboy's X button because now he gets Khalil Mack to play with. Chunky saying look at what Doe did with Tack. Now he got Mack. BGZ saying would have went Chargers first out of the AFC West. Chargers still hanging around here. Let's get to our next pick, which is at number 16. A host of the Dean's List. It is Fellow Blitz at number 16. Came in to a Panthers team. Bomber. A lot of issues with that Panthers team. But Chargers still out there. He's in their top 5. Steelers off the board. Packers still alive. We may be getting to this point, Bomber, right now where you start looking at what division you want to go to more than what team you want to go to.
Yeah, divisions are filling up quick. So right now, if I'm Fellow Blitz, I'm sorry, I got some frozen yogurt here. If I'm actually,
wait, whoa, let's go back. What kind of frozen yogurt you got?
Yeah, let's talk about food.
It's cheesecake. I don't know. My wife brought it.
Oh no, that's good. Tell me more.
Cool. Let's talk about that.
Let's get back to Fellow Blitz. Fellow Blitz. NFC North is wide open, baby. You need to find a team. Fellow Blitz.
I'm out here recruiting. Look at that.
with a bad plan, and those are just the kind of guys you want in the NFC North. Maybe the Detroit Lions. Yeah. So you've seen divisions starting to close up. I can't believe the other division closed up so quick. The NFC South. That was phenomenal to see that happen. I think the AFC has 2 divisions kind of open right now. I believe AFC East and the AFC West. Am I right about that? OSU kind of open right now.
Yeah, East only has the Dolphins taken. Raiders only the one out of the AFC West.
Yeah, I think those are the 2 divisions, Sonny. I think those are divisions you got to look for in these next couple picks to start filling up.
Yeah, I mean, the LA Chargers, if you remember months back, fellow was saying he had a sneaky team no one was talking about. It was the LA Chargers. And we all said, fella, everybody's talking about the Chargers. There's no way they're going to fall to you. And here we are. The Chargers are here on the clock. It seems like a match made in heaven.
Well, maybe he just meant Fred wasn't talking about him because every time he Gets in a conversation with a friend. The name's always Fred in the text thing.
How's that cheesecake treating you?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I just saw a picture of it. We definitely need to get into that.
Okay, all right. Well, let's Sonny Weaver, LA Chargers finally off the board, going to fellow Bills, heading out to the AFC West. Keenan Allen, Casey Hayward, Joey Bosa. Sonny, this is a team everybody really high on. Falls a little bit, what I'll call the Aaron Rodgers move, falling down the draft board. But fella's got a great team out there and a defensive line that is one of the best in the NBL.
Right. Yeah, this Chargers team is a stud, full of, here's my problem with the Chargers. I played with them a couple sims, and then I kind of fell out of love with them. And really quickly, that's because Joey Bosa is always hurt. I don't know what his injury rating is, but Joey Bosa is always hurt. That's a problem. I love that team. I love Joey Bosa, but if he's never going to be on the field, that took a big hit for them, for me.
So the second team taken out of the AFC West. Fella, let's go and play with Doughboy out in that AFC West. Let's get to our next pick here in the NBL Team Selection Show. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Maybe for your first time, maybe it's your 15th or 100th time. We appreciate you tuning in. I'm OSU, your NBL Network Director. We got the co-commish and the commish, Bomber and Lip on the call, as well as Sonny Weaver, our resident 4Verts expert. Find him on Twitter at T4Verts. Give it a good follow because he got some great information over there. Let's get to our next pick, which is our resident, the hammer of the NBL, the man with the wireless internet. It is Dark Brawler at number 17. Rams off the list. Jaguars off the list. Browns off the list. 49ers and Giants, though, still available, Lip. Which division will get the pleasure of playing with DB's wireless internet?
I think it's got to be the Giants. He was so excited whenever the talk about them falling happened, and then whenever Star was talking about taking them, I think he was upset. So I think it's got to be the Giants. They have a really good roster, in my opinion. I would love to play with Saquon Barkley, OBJ. They've got a great defense. I think it's a great team to go to, especially if you're a fan of them. So I would love to see DB get his Giants.
Sonny, question from the chat, Panthers fan 234 asking, when do you think the Ravens are going to get taken?
Well, the Ravens are an interesting team. I've seen a lot of people play with them. I think we're probably looking at the early 20s there is where I would look for the Ravens to go. But so far we've seen some teams drop, so it's hard to tell at this point.
All right, well, let's see where we are going with Dark Brawler at pick number 17. It's no surprise. He's going to the New York Giants. Gets to play with Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham, two huge names. Eli Manning at quarterback. Lip, this is just a pick that I think a lot of people, if the Giants fell this far, everybody expected DB to go there. He gets to go out to the NFC to the NFC East, a division that now has 3 teams taken, with Z-Star and October already out there. He makes the 3rd team, and that becomes a very interesting division.
Yeah, I mean, this team, OBJ, Damon Harrison, Landon Collins, Janoris Jenkins, Evan Ingram, keep going on and on. This team has a lot of talent, and, I obviously love Saquon Barkley, so I think that's going to be fun to watch him develop and play. I'm really excited for him to have his Giants, and that is going to be a fun division to watch moving throughout this entire cycle. I'm really excited that he got his Giants. I hope he's very happy.
Sonny, how good is Saquon Barkley going to be in this game?
Very, very good. Very good. Now, the question is, can DB learn to run with him by laying off the turbo? I'm not so sure about that one, though.
The struggle is real as that NFC East. Let's talk about that just for a second, Sonny. October taking the Eagles, best team out of the box in that division. DB, one of the most improved owners for sure, made the playoffs in his last season as the Denver Broncos in Madden 18. He goes Giants. Z-Star goes Cowboys. That is going to be a competitive division to watch in the NFC.
I think that Redskins team sneaky good. Somebody's going to get that team and be quite happy with it, especially in the mid-20s. I had them rated as a top 10 team in my team rankings for CFM. So I think if you get the right player there, that division could be a lot of fun. Not for everybody who has to play DB in his wireless internet, though.
I'm so sorry to everybody out there. Let's get to our next pick, which is pick number 18, and it is MBM, the owner of the Seattle Seahawks, came into the league 13-3 so far in his NBL career with the Seahawks team in the NFC West. Some choices to be made here. Bomber MBM, one of the newer owners, and he gets to participate in his first team selection. Panthers off the board, Chargers off the board, Texans off the board, Giants off the board, Chiefs off the board. He's got to go off his list, but still plenty of talent out there. Might we see the New England Patriots go here, Bomber, or maybe another team to MBM?
Oh, dude, that would be a great team for MBM to go to the AFC and take the New England Patriots. I think that would be a great fit. He's a great passer, a great defensive player. And I think that makes sense for him to take the New England Patriots. Now, that division also makes sense for him, too, because he will be able to be the big dog in a small pond in that AFC East. I think that just makes sense for him. That's probably the sneaky Timbo pick right now at pick number 18 to take the New England Patriots. I'm ready to see them go off the board. Sonny, where do you got them?
Bomber, before you do this, Sonny, sorry to cut you off, but can you, Bomber, get with Bananas. The graphic he sent is not a graphic file. It's not a file at all, so...
Oh, he's an idiot, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Sonny, nice. Carry on.
Well, if I was going sneaky Timbo pick, here's what I would do. Knowing Deck is at 19, I would actually take the Denver Broncos, and here's why. I get to play with Fella, I get to play with Decca, and then I get to play with Doughboy. I feel really good about that division. I control my own division there. I take the Broncos, maybe not the best team, but I feel good about who I'm playing against.
That's a good answer. You know,
sorry,
that's a good point. I like it.
Sonny, I like your thinking. I really do. MBM, however, doesn't like your thinking. He's going to cut Decca completely out and go Kansas City Chiefs. Taking that Chiefs team. Decca now 100% going to just drive to MBM's house and beat him to death. Eric Berry, 96 overall. Travis Kelce, 95 overall. Sonny, this Chiefs team is actually sneaky good, especially offensively. Defense maybe needs a little bit of work, but more surprisingly is MBM cuts Decca out of his favorite team.
That's heartbreaking for old Decca because we kept telling him there was no way he would get it, and he was so close. Him and Doughboy have a lot in common now about that, but looking at the team itself, I think their biggest question marks in pass rush. I really don't know what the Chiefs are going to do for pass rush. That defensive front seven needs a lot of work. Reggie Ragland there at middle linebacker is a stud. The back end, Eric Berry. Corners could use some help, but the offense is electric. They do have some issues up front at line, but this is a team that can win early.
A lot of surprises early here in the NBL Team Selection Show. We still got a lot of picks to go. Appreciate everybody tuning in and chatting here on the NBL Network. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss any of our NBL live action live here on Twitch as we get through the season with these teams. Everybody's selecting tonight. Let's see who is up next on our team selection list at number 19. It is Decadog, who, of course, has the Chiefs at number 1. And they're not there anymore. So he's got the 49ers at number 2. Sonny, how good is this 49ers team? Okay, let's talk about them because the other teams are off his list. I think got a real nice rating for a team I don't think anybody's talking about as a great team.
That was weird. Did you ask me or Lip?
I asked you, and I also then choked at the end of my... I've got real bad heartburn right now, and I don't know why. Carry on.
So, Decca challenged me a little bit when we were talking about team selection, about Kansas City. He acted like he was going to follow me where I went. There was this kind of underlying feeling that he was going to follow me. So I think 49ers may be in play here. I may get the Decadog twice a year.
I'm pulling up graphics. Keep talking about Decadog.
Oh, okay. Decadog.
Well, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo. You're going to have your quarterback your entire cycle. You got to pay him a lot. But you're going to have the quarterback the entire cycle. The big question to me, Staley's 34, Sherman's 29. You've got Pierre Garçon as your top wide receiver at 32. I'm not quite sure how to build this team because I don't know. I just don't know about it. But like I said, the most important thing is you've got your quarterback, and you know that's big for a cycle. But I'm sorry, I'm reading
in the chat, and interesting, Camp Thops 2 says, how are the Vikings available? I'll tell you, in CFM, first of all, funds are awful in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And second of all, you got to play Bomber twice a year. So those are two big things. Let's see where Decadog is going at pick number 19. The man who is the love nest for dragonflies. The Rugburn King himself. Weed Harvest. Don't drive drunk. Headed to San Francisco. The 49ers indeed is where Decadog is going. Sonny Weaver, you called it. You said 49ers. Your thoughts on Decadog heading out west?
Weird obsession there, but interesting that he takes the 49ers, the second best team in that division. Did not expect that to happen. And a little bit curious to see how it goes with the old dog, the Deca dog.
The old Deca dog.
Yeah. Summer!
What the heck are you doing?
That's going to be fun.
What team did you take? You took the...
Took the Rams.
The Rams. Huh? You just got 8 more interceptions a year.
Boomski. Let's go to our number 20 pick. 12 to go here in the NBL. And that is where we find Pricey. His entire list, actually more available than I thought it'd be. Saints, Rams, and Raiders all gone, but Cardinals and Colts still available for Pricey. Bomber.
Oh, gosh. He's going to go back Colts. No, I should call him right now.
Yeah, what do you
put him on the air?
Oh.
No, he's going to go Cardinals and come play with me. You know,
I'm going to call him right now, guys.
Yeah, give Pricey a call. Let's
get Pricey on the phone.
No, he 100%. If he's watching,
it's 9:30. It's about 5
He doesn't have the game.
Dude, he hasn't even played one game yet.
This is the bigger issue. He's got a top 5 made off of teams that he's never played with because he has not even opened Madden 19 yet. He wanted to, but he just can't.
Wait, really? He hasn't played the game?
He hasn't played a game yet. No.
Yeah.
He can't get the cellophane wrapping off.
It is tough to get.
No, he forwarded me to voicemail. All right, let's just see what he's got.
Uh-oh.
He's going to go back Colts out of panic right now. He hasn't played the game. He's going to go back to what he knows. Oh, I just know it.
Poor Pricey.
He is not going to the Colts. He's going to the Buffalo Bills, heading out to the AFC East, team that has some young talent, has Shady McCoy at running back, Tre'Davious White, of course, 88 overall. Bummer, I think this is a smart move by Pricey, heading out to the AFC East, a relatively open division still, and taking a team that has some young pieces you can build around.
It's definitely an interesting prospect, but why not just go with the Patriots? You know? Why not just go with the best quarterback arguably in the game, or at least top 3 for a year, and see how you can do with him? You got a good defense in New England. You got some great pieces. Why not go with the New England Patriots, but instead he goes with the Buffalo Bills? Maybe he wants to rebuild. Maybe he wants the challenge of trying to build something in Buffalo. Not a bad pick. Definitely a division that I think is going to be competitive. He was in the division last year as the Miami Dolphins. So let's see what he does now. He's been the Colts and the Dolphins so far in the NBL. Let's see if he...
Can we talk about something real quick?
Yeah.
JY, Pricey, and then the Jets are hanging out there for somebody to go take the Patriots. I mean, you're going to walk into 13 wins every year right now with that team.
Well,
why not?
Let's go to our next pick at number 21. It is Fry. Resident Cleveland Browns fan, they're off the board. He does have the Patriots on his list. He's also got the Redskins on the list. All right. Oh, hold on. Bomber, you're saying Bengals.
Well, why not? Redskins? He won Bengals last year. Probably go back to him.
Okay. All right. Sonny, your thoughts?
I'll throw Patriots out there. He takes the Patriots, and that is, record-wise, the worst division in NBL history.
Lip, your turn.
Wait, who drafts after Fry? Let's
it's
do
Homer.
That first.
Homer's after Fry.
Homer 100% takes that opportunistic approach right there. goes to the Patriots if Fry does go to the Jets here or whatever team else is in the AFC East.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at my list. He is going to a division with 2 other people already. Actually, he's going to fill out a division.
Okay. Let me guess, he's going to Lip's division again.
Redskins.
He is going to the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
Interesting. On the board.
That's a good team.
It's a very
good pick, Fry.
He's got Bradley Chubb on the defensive side of the ball, so a younger team. Quarterback, definitely a question mark, but that fills out that AFC West. Doughboy, Fella, MBM, and Fry.
Not bad, Fry.
Bomber, thoughts on Fry's choice to fill out that division?
Not a bad pick with the Denver Broncos. I absolutely like them. I think there's some question marks at quarterback, but there was anyways wherever Fry was going to go. So why not go with the team that has a pretty good defense? I like Denver's defense. Sonny, give us the forwards breakdown of the Denver Broncos. You say everybody's sneaky good, so I expect you to say the same thing here.
Actually, this team is one that I don't find myself loving as much as everybody else does. They've got some good players in the secondary. Von Miller, obviously, is a stud up front along with Chubb. Chris Harris is getting a little older, though. Bradley Roby on the other side is decent, not shut down. They don't have much of a slot corner there. Offensively, they have Emmanuel Sanders. They have Demaryius Thomas, 2 studs there, but they're a little bit older. question marks at halfback. Offensive line's a big question mark. I kind of envision the Broncos being available down here. I had them as my 4th best team in the AFC West. This one doesn't surprise me. I think there were better opportunities, though, for Fry to set himself up to win. Anything in that AFC East, he would have been competitive to win that division.
Real quick, OSU.
Serp a Broncos fan?
No, yes. Okay, so here's what, Serp. You've been gone. OSU was doing some work and work/vacation, I guess, playcation.
Mostly work.
Mostly work in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You missed out on Serp's whirlwind he had with the Denver Broncos, where he told me he played in the franchise and he was just bringing people in to play his opponent, whoever he was playing during the week, and he went 7-1. So I said, either the Broncos have a really easy schedule, or you're handpicking these opponents here. But he got really hyped with them and thought he could win with the Denver Broncos, to where he changed his avatar with his group me. He was all in on the Denver Broncos. He thought he was going to win. And I told him, what you're doing is hyping up a team that people aren't really talking about. And what's going to happen is someone's going to pick them before you. And maybe Fry got a little whiff of that, because he did play him in that franchise.
Yo, I played Serp. He was the Broncos, I think, 2 or 3 times, and he was doing very good with him. That pass rush with Chubb and Von Miller was very good. And then Chris Harris in the back end of that defense. It's a very good team. Serp really liked them, and I think you're right. He hyped them up a little bit too much, and they were taken just before him.
Well, let's get to our next pick, which is Homer Hankey at pick number 22. We know a big Vikings fan. The rest of his list completely off the board. The Vikings the only one on his list. Bomber,
I think he has to go Vikings
fit,
here,
right?
It's kind of crazy. He doesn't want to take the Vikings because of the money, and it's going to suck, and he knows that. But at this point, with all the craziness that's happened, and I'm going to pass this to my 4-verts guy. How bad are these Vikings? Are they really even worth it if they don't have any funds coming in? And second part to that question is, where else could you see Homer going? We know Homer fairly well. At this point, it's like, I don't know. Like, all those mid-tier teams are kind of off the board right now. It seems just like he has to kind of go, like, I don't know. That's just where I would see him going, is Vikings right now.
I have the Vikings as my best team on the board right now. Now, that does not take in the fact of funds issues or the fact that Bomber is there. So that Vikings team can survive even with the funds issues, I think, because they're a good young team that if you can re-sign your own guys, draft well, you'll be okay. You're just not going to bring anybody from the outside, and that's kind of just the way it is there. Now, if you look across the board, I'm pointing to the Patriots here. You kind of called it out earlier. That's an opportunistic pick. If he takes Patriots, Jets will be one of the last ones off the board. And Homer's got to feel like if he's the Patriots, he's the best guy in that division, and he can win a title.
Yeah, he's taking Patriots. You're right. 100%.
Yeah, Sonny is right. He's going Patriots.
He's 100%. It's less about the funds and more about Bomber being there, I believe, with this pick. Would that solidify that, Sonny, on that spectrum of it? It seems like the opportunistic Homer is actually the real Homer, and he's going to go to the AFC East.
Yeah, he goes New England Patriots. 299 overalls on this team. Lip is trying to fill out that division now in the AFC East. Homer's got to feel pretty good. That's going to be another competitive division here in the NBL.
Yeah, and I think the way that I've felt about this game, the way it plays, is I think the tight end is going to be a big part of it. It seems like if they do a little bit of a delayed route, something like that, something that takes a little bit of time to get open. Tight ends get very open, and whenever you have such a talent in Rob Gronkowski, you've got a great quarterback in Brady throwing to him, the rest of the team is going to be just fine. They've got some great players. They've got 2 good corners right now. McCourty's a little older at 31, but there's still a lot of talent on that team, so I think it's a good pick. Homer's a big defensive guy, so he's got some pieces on the defensive side of the ball that I think he's going to do really well with. That was a good pick for him.
Well, let's go to our next pick as we're winding down the team selection show, but a lot of teams still out there. Got to fill out these divisions. Let's go to pick number 23. It is Serpent, owner of the Rams, saddest man in the NBL right now. I think he loved a lot of teams. He has top 5 here. 49ers off the board, Rams off the board, Falcons off the board. Bengals though still alive. Lip. Serpent, a guy who had this Rams team, played in the NFC West. Do you see Serpent maybe making a venture over to the AFC and getting out of that NFC and playing in that AFC North?
I'm not sure, just because, like I said, I played him and he was so set on those Broncos. But if you look at the Bengals teams, AJ Green's still good. Geno Atkins, Tyler Eifert, Vontaze Burfict, Dunlap, Bernard, William Jackson. William Jackson's very good in this game, so you would have a amazing corner for the entire cycle. You still have AJ Green, Tyler Eifert, never plays in the NFL, but he is always a beast in Madden. So it's a good team to go to if that's in your top 5.
Let's see where Serp is going at pick number 23. He, I think, might be closing out a division. I've sort of lost track. If somebody wants to post an updated division track, that'd be neato. He's going out to the to the NFC West and taking the Arizona Cardinals. David Johnson, of course, the big guy out there, 93 overall. Patrick Peterson and Larry Fitzgerald getting up there in age, but still very talented. Sonny, what's to make of this Arizona Cardinals team and your new division mate?
Yeah, you know, that's interesting. The Arizona Cardinals, David Johnson is the backbone of this team, Patrick Peterson on the defense. But then you look around and there's not a whole lot left. Larry Fitzgerald is there, a little older. Chandler Jones is definitely a good pass rusher. I think there's a lot to be excited about there. But then you look at some of the other pieces. Deion Buchanan, he's decent. He's not what a lot of people thought he'd end up beating. You've got a few other guys around there. But really, if you're looking at quarterback, Josh Rosen's kind of interesting. I'd be interested to see what that looks like down the road, but there's some questions as far as offensive linemen, who's there, what's going on. It's an interesting team. I think Serp is a good player, so I'm excited to play him.
I'm just pulling up a new graphic. As we are getting graphics up for our divisions, this is the NFC South. As you can see, a big shout out to Bananas and MBM for helping out with these graphics. OSU, Porter, Bob, and Jamie Phil, that NFC South. We'll be having those graphics flying in no time, folks. As we get to our next pick, pick number 24, it was the owner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Madden 18. It is Playa Partner, the team builder himself. And Bomber, if you're Playa, there are a lot of teams out there that you are probably feeling pretty good about if you're good at team building, because maybe not most talented, but a lot of young teams still available.
Yeah, the list is starting to become in my head, though. I'm starting to forget which teams are really available. Everybody on that list, except for the Green Bay Packers, is pretty much gone. I'm 100% sure of that. So, man, this is going to be a tough pick here for Playa. What's available? Is the AFC East closed out?
Jets are there in the AFC East. Redskins are the best team on the board.
I think he should go AFC East to the Jets. I think that's probably his best. Playa, if you're listening, I think that's where you go, bro. I think you go AFC. I think you go the New York Jets. You bring the Jets back. You call up the man, the myth, the legend. I'm doing this to buy time, OSU. What's that quarterback's name? Can't think of it. The old guy that used to play on there when they won a championship back in the 70s. You probably went to high school with him, Playa. What's his name? Joe Namath, yes. You call Joe Namath that you went to high school with. Playa, you call him in, you rebuild this team, and you can win some divisions over there. I believe it, Playa. You go New York Jets. I know they're not on your list, but the New York Jets would be the play I'd go to. Lib, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I think they got a lot of good pieces to start with, and we all know Playa probably drafts the best in the league. So, and like you said, the division's pretty open if he goes there. So I think it's a great fit. That'd be another good division. All four teams would be very competitive. The way Playa drafts and builds teams, I think it's a great spot. You picked that exactly right. I think the Jets are a perfect fit for him.
All right, I'm gonna steer Sonny to this pick. Okay, Sonny, you ready for this?
Yep.
If you're a guy who loves team building, you love draft picks. Who's a team that has 2 draft picks?
The team that has 2. I thought the Eagles had 2 draft picks.
No, it is taken from the New Orleans Saints. Bomber, you have a division mate. It is the Green Bay Packers.
That's true.
And that is where Playa Partner is going to be going to the Green Bay Packers, joining Bomber.
You just signed your death warrant, boy.
Oh, no. Oh,
it's
no.
over. It's over for you, Playa. No, congratulations. Welcome to the division. Finally, I was waiting for someone to jump on board. I mean, there wasn't many people left. Someone had to start taking these teams. What's so bad about my division, Sonny? Are they just not that good or what?
Well, you know, there's the U factor, but there's some things here. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. Solid O-line actually in Green Bay. I like their O-line better than most people. Their secondary is where I get excited. They've got 3 or 4 young corners that are really good. The strong safety position has to get fixed. I think that's where they'll go in the free agent draft. They've got one strong safety who has 50 coverage stats. It's their starter. Can't do that. You fix that. You maybe find a little pass rush. You're feeling pretty good. I like this team. I just think he's playing for second in the division.
Well, for now, we still have more teams to announce in that division. The only chance we got, is you're looking at the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. And Draco's still on the board. Draco, big-time Chicago Bears fan.
All right, well, let's go to our next pick. We found him, folks. Don't worry. It's Nemo. Nemo here at number 25.
Nemo.
Came in for the New York Giants, had some success in New York, and now he gets to participate in his first team selection. Packers, Browns, Chargers, Eagles, Titans. Throw that list out the window. We don't need that anymore, Lip. Again, there's some good teams still on the board. Bears available, Redskins still available. Bengals. Sonny has said that the Redskins were the best team left on the board about 5-6 picks ago. Does Nemo go best available, or does Nemo maybe try to fit into a division?
I would like to see Nemo and Star play in that division. I think that'd be a very good division for both of them. But the Redskins, they've got a lot of talent. They're not old but not young. They've got some guys on defense, as you know. They've got Josh Norman. They've got some other guys, Ryan Kerrigan. It's going to be a good team, I think, and I would like to see Nemo go to that team because, like I said, I think it could be very competitive with him and Star. It'd be very fun to watch.
Bomber, where do you think Nemo is going to head here at pick number 25?
I think he's opportunistic. I think he goes to the New York Jets. The Jets are still available, right? Play didn't take him. He went with the Packers. Jets still got to be there, Sonny. What do you think? Nemo to the Jets? I think he's opportunistic, and I think he spoils Homer's plans.
W. Dex Shank saying the Skins are straight butt water. Well, Nemo, enjoy your butt water as he is going to the Washington Redskins at pick.
Nice.
Oh, wow,
He's
nice.
got a great team, especially offensively. There's some weapons. Jordan Reed, of course, a big tight end. And Lip, you're talking about the value of tight ends. Jordan Reed, big physical, knows how to run those seam routes. He's going to be a weapon for a Redskins team that needs somebody to rely on offensively.
Yeah, I think tight end's going to be big this cycle. It's going to be exciting. Jordan Reed's good, 28 years old, 94 overall. Very talented tight end. And still, I like the defense a lot, so I think you've got a solid team there. Going to be very competitive. I like what I see from that division.
What are we to expect from this team ratings-wise, Sonny, as you look at this Washington Redskins out in the NFC East?
Very solid offensive line here for Washington. One of the reasons I had them so highly rated, I think they need to maybe find a left guard, but then they'll be good to go. This team is built to run the ball. They've got some time to throw it. Blank.
Yep.
Quarterback.
All right, back to
Carson Palmer.
No, oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Carson Palmer. He got traded from the Bengals to the Raiders, right? Then he rejuvenated his career in Arizona, in which he got hurt a couple times and essentially ended up getting Bruce Arians.
I'm just going to keep naming quarterbacks.
Alex Smith. Gosh, I could not think.
Wow, you could come up with the name Alex Smith?
Wow.
That
Carson
Alex
Palmer,
Nothing
Alex
you
Smith.
said led us to Alex Smith.
Yeah,
that was
so
terrible.
Alex Smith, that is the guy that's really the problem there. That contract is horrible. That's going to put him in a hole a little bit. But outside of Alex Smith, I feel like this team really is a top 10 team.
As we're winding down the
Came
team
a long way
selection
around
show. That was a winding drive through the countryside. I appreciate everybody tuning into the NBL team selection show. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss every time we go
How
live.
did he said all that? Couldn't remember the guy's name, and then the guy that he finally remembers his name of is complete trash. Oh, by the way, they're top 10 team though without him. Well, how did we get here? And there's a lot of top 10 teams, Sonny. You can't have 20 top 10 teams.
I like them. I like
It's
a lot.
not mathematically. You can't.
Well, you screw everything up with the Lions at one.
Here's my
Bottom
question
five
though,
team.
to you, OSU. How many times have we said Sonny? How many times have we heard Sonny say a team's either top 10 or sneaky good? I've counted about 18 teams. If they're top 10 sneaky good, and the Lions ain't one of them. So what is it take to be just trash? Is it like bottom 3 or
Lions.
It's the Colts.
Lions are sneaky good.
They are.
Now, they're
I
sneaky
should
trash.
be-
That just means they're in the top 30.
Cool
Sneaky
Del guys joining us in the chat. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that follow button so you know each and every time we go live. We got NBL Live starting up in, I think, a little under 2 weeks. We'll be looking at NBL Live, so don't miss out on that one. Live play-by-play broadcast of the franchise of all these teams you're seeing picked tonight. Let's get to the final 6 picks of the team selection show. We're going to pick number 26. It is Hound. Look, this is a division mate of yours, and I think one of the most improved owners. We saw him take a Ravens team that was frankly not very good out of the box in Madden 18 and turn them into a playoff team. I like that his number 1 pick was the Eagles. That was never going to happen, but there's still some teams out there. Where do you see Hound finishing up?
Oh, I'd like to see Hound go. It's tough. It's really tough. I would say Vikings because they have a good team. I don't know how he feels about the whole funds issue, but they have a good team to start out. Sneaky good, some would say. Hound was a very good division mate last cycle. He got better each season, brought in a lot of good players, built his team the way he wanted to, and I'm not sure where he would go, but if he wants to take a team that's already built, I would say the Vikings. It's just how does he feel about the funds? Not sure he'll go there, but that is probably the better team that I see out there.
Hound, he is going to take his talents to the NFC West. He takes the Seattle Seahawks, crushing the dreams of MVP of the Lake House Cougs, who we know wanted that Seahawks team. That is where Hound is going. Sonny, this Seahawks team, getting up there in age. No more Richard Sherman. Still got Earl Thomas back there. Still got Bobby Wagner. But this is a team that needs an injection of youth.
That's an interesting pick for Hound. Obviously, their OVR is pretty high, but I got them pretty low in my rankings for the main fact they're old. They are old. They have, I think, 5 guys maybe under the age of 28 that are starters on their team. It's just a really old team that's got to get like you said, an injection of something out there. Their O-line not very good. Their D-line, they've lost a lot. Michael Bennett's gone. You know, you're really looking at Frank Clark and a bunch of other guys. Bobby Wagner and Earl Thomas definitely solidified the middle of that defense, but a lot of question marks beyond there. It'll be interesting to see how you rebuild that team, who actually still has some cap issues.
Sonny, we got 6 teams left. Ravens are still out there. 2 teams actually in the AFC North. Ravens and Bengals, Jets, Vikings, and Bears and Colts. Who's the best team still available out of the box?
Best team out of the box is Vikings. Next best team, I'm going Ravens.
Well, let's go to pick number 27. A guy who had a lot of success in New Orleans in Madden 18. It is Eric G, who has a wide open selection here because his number 1 bomber is the Cincinnati Bengals. Those Cincinnati Bengals still on the board. Seems like a match made in heaven.
Hey, you think he got to go? Going. I mean, Eric G is the type of guy that looks at many things when he selects his team. He looks at personnel, but he also looks at who's in the division, and he also looks at the path to the Super Bowl. Because I said this last time, Lip, the New Orleans Saints were Super Bowl or bust at one point. Even though they never got to that big game, that was their goals, and I still think that's his goals going into Madden 19. And I think those are the things that he's kind of factoring in right now.
Yeah, I think that, I think he goes Bengals. I think he takes his team here. He's wanted him for a while.
Bengals his team?
Oh, yeah.
They are.
Oh, heck yeah. And he's got it going. Go for it, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got a good team to start out. There's a couple questions here and there. But like I said, William Jackson is going to be amazing. You got A.J. Green and Tyler Eifert. It's going to be a lot of building the depth, I think. And you've got to play in a tougher division. But it doesn't matter because that's his team. I think he's going to be excited to try to take them to the playoffs and a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
watch the Ravens.
The suspense is out. Cincinnati Bengals is the pick for Eric G.
Oh.
Sonny, you're a big Bengals fan. You know this team. What is Eric to expect as a big fan of this Bengals? What do you see of this team out of the box?
Well, what you got to do is you got to get the offensive line under control quickly. A lot of issues there. Very slow linebacking core. Vontaze Burfict, 75 overall. 75 speed. Brown, the middle linebacker, also 75 speed. So they've got issues there. But let's talk about what they do have. A.J. Green over the top. He has the high spec catch out of the box, I believe. He is a beast when it comes to downfield throws. Obviously, John Ross, the speedster there. Tyler Eifert, 2 backs, and Giovanni Bernard and Joe Mixon. They've got it all. They may want to look for a quarterback as Andy Dalton's only a 75 overall now. But if you want to look at the one thing this team really is going to be able to do, it's going to be rush the passer. Geno Atkins, Carlos Dunlap, Carl Lawson, they're stacked across the board. But where their holes are, they're pretty big holes.
Let's go to the pick number 28, and it is the former owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. It is, of course, Draco. Bomber.
Wow. Yeah, he's got to go Bears. Yeah, he's a Bears guy.
You know what? Hey, we're just going to speed this along.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
He's going to the Bears. He's going to the Bears.
Good for Draco. Hey, it's very cool to see in the NBL teams fall, and this actually wasn't – I don't want to even give anybody credit for who passed because I saw people taking guys' teams for no reason other than to just take them for themselves. You know, they weren't caring about who's behind them. But it's just cool to see it fall this way and the dominoes to play out and lay out the way that they did to where Eric G ends up getting his Bengals. And Draco gets to go back to his Chicago Bears at pick 28.
And Bomber, you're getting in Draco, a guy you've seen a couple times as the owner of the Bears. This is one of, I think, the sneakiest best players in the NBL in terms of just stick skills. He improved a ton offensively with that Chiefs team. We've always known about the Draco defense, but he learned to pass with your favorite name to say, James Straseljic, and now he gets to go back to Chicago and play in your division.
Yeah, he does, and he improved as a player last season in that very tough division. Arguably, I think the only division that had 4 playoff berth teams, top to bottom. I think they were the only division to do that. We got another email with the NFC West that's finishing up with Surf, Sunny, Deca, Dog, and Hound.
I'm just waiting until they all come in. I'll show them all at the end.
Absolutely. Okay, you look at that team, and you say Chicago Bears, you think of Draco or Bob, so it's cool to see one of those guys getting it, and Draco has improved a lot as a player. But probably not enough.
I just want to point out that the top 2 players in this team, Adrian Amos and Allen Robinson, are from the Penn State University. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm excited to see Draco have them.
Let's go to pick number 29. It is the man who left his mark at the NBL Lake House, both literally and figuratively. It is Cougs. The wild card, as we have called it.
What was literally?
He vomited all over Sunny's deck. He left his mark there.
Oh, wow.
Vikings are there.
Hey, I would love to see Cougs in my division. I absolutely fell in love with that guy, dude. One chat. Him and Adam, the guy that has the, I think, 31 or 30. Absolutely like that guy as well.
Sonny, who do you think Cougs should go with?
Minnesota Vikings.
He is going to a team in purple. It is not the Minnesota Vikings, though. It is the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh.
And, of course...
there's bad blood here.
Lamar Jackson.
Oh, there is bad blood.
Uh-oh.
There's bad blood here.
Yes, there is.
Because Cougs, for those who don't know,
baby.
Cougs is going to a division with Bananas, and there was some Lake House debauchery between these two.
Whoa, that sounds weird.
These two played a Madden game of which... let's just say Bananas was, first of all, 11.5 was offered, and I took it, and I didn't get it. Let's start there. But Bananas might have been a little confrontational, Sonny. Is that fair to say?
Oh, that is more than fair to say.
I just want to point out that Bananas actually says none of this is what y'all are making out to be. He's very delusional to the situation.
Oh, it was bad.
Wow, Bananas. Disappointed in you, man.
It was very bad. As we are winding down the team selection show, getting towards the end, folks, appreciate you all tuning in.
Help the Vikings, come on.
We've already talked about Bomber, already announced.
I think Adam probably will go. Me and him had a pretty good conversation yesterday. I bet he thinks that means we're friends, so he might go there.
Well, Bomber,
Adam, don't do it.
But for those who may have missed the early part of the show, talk about building the franchise and what it is going to be this year, and who is going to be the team featured in Season 33.
All right, building the franchise. You saw it last season. We did the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Detroit Lions. I hosted the show. This time I'm going to come from a third-party perspective, kind of like a beat writer for the team. I'm going to follow these teams closely, and we're going to help shape these teams because I'm going to be on this owner's behind to get the answers to the questions that we have, and we're going to basically follow a team for a season, and our whole objective is to follow Super Bowl champions. We're looking for guys that are either building big teams, looking for that big breakout season, and take their experience in the NBL and trying to ride that all the way to a Super Bowl victory. The first season, NBL Season 33, the first season of Madden 19, we're going to be following the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, America's team, unless you ask Big Kep. Then he says it's the Taliban's team. So that's probably that's subjective at this point. But we're going to be following Z-Star and the Dallas Cowboys. And then the next season, we will probably be following, I'm thinking maybe Jacksonville Jaguars, maybe Cleveland Browns. Definitely not Sonny's team, though. But those are the teams that we're looking at right now. Trendy teams like that, we'll be following them as they embark on their journey to win an NBL Super Bowl. It's going to be really fun. Probably get 4 to 5 episodes per season. Each season's about
Brawler is advocating to follow the Giants, but we know he can't record clips on that wireless internet.
Yes, we're not going to be able to do you recording from your cell phone sending to me to stream. That's not going to happen like that.
Absolutely a flip phone.
But Dark Brawler, absolutely happy that you got your New York Giants, man. Now let's see you do something with them. But yes, so building the franchise. It will start our first episode since the season's kicking off the 18th. I would say that's going to be preseason 19th, 2021. So 22 lip. Is that when we're going to start the season? We'll probably have week 1, excuse me. Season starts on the 18th. I'll probably have an episode come out maybe the 18th, since it's a Saturday, and it'll be an every Saturday show on our YouTube channel. That's where you'll be able to catch it, and some of the episodes will be live, others will be recorded. So make sure you come on by, check it out, and leave your feedback, as we're going to be following a new team every season. That's a different team every season, and you guys are going to be able to vote on those teams. I'll probably narrow it down to about 4 or 5 options, none which will ever be Sunny. So we have that to look forward to as well. Just kidding, son.
But
Maybe.
But he's serious. But he's absolutely serious.
Yeah,
let's get
but
to
that's
the
true.
final 3 picks. 3 teams still out there. Vikings, Jets, and Colts still available. At pick number 30, it is the man who has gifted so many subscriptions but has yet to play a game in the NPL. It is Sclam. The Sclamscriber giveaway, of course. Don't miss out on that here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. Sonny, if you were looking at these 3 teams, which one is the one you'd be going here at number 30?
Well, he's got Jets number 1. Let's go Jets number 1. That's where I think I'm going, because that is a division that's very winnable. That to me is the biggest thing at this point. You're looking at division. You're saying, do I want to go play with Bomber? Do I want to go play with Lip? Or do I want to go play with JY, Pricey, and Homer? That seems pretty easy.
Yeah, sure. Why not? He's going to the Big Apple, the second team out of New York. He's going to play with that New York Jets team, closing out the AFC East. Lip, a smart move here.
Wait, he just gifted a subscription too during his pick. He only knows how to put himself. He knows how to put himself over, unlike anybody else. WWE Tech Notes, Sclamscription on his own pick. OSU. He gifted a subscription to Draco, the owner of the Chicago Bears.
Shout out to the Sclamscriber giveaway. You can always get gifted a Sclamscriber here on the NBL Network, which gets you entered into all of our giveaways. All of our giveaways here on the channel are to subscribers only, so don't miss out on that. And make sure you tune in as many times as possible so you can win that Sclamscriber giveaway. All right, 2 teams left. Let's hit the final 2. Vikings and Colts, the only teams left on the board. We get to Toutstifer. Old Tout at 31.
I actually like Tout in my division. That'd be cool. Who's drafting at 32?
A double A.
Double A.
Oh, double A. Yeah, he's cool too. I like him.
You don't want Tout in your division.
Why not?
Because sometimes Tout's going to run a fake punt from his own 40 and tell you how great of a call it was, when in fact he was breaking the rule, but he didn't even know it during the game. So that's what you get to deal with Tout. It hurts your head.
What do we got? OSU, are you there?
It takes me a second to change the graphics. Give me a moment.
I thought
I'm
Todd was
running
maybe messing up.
18 things at once. I'm trying to
Tout took the
update.
Dolphins.
Here you go. Tout picked the Vikings. He's going to your division. Enjoy the fake punt fiasco.
Wait, the guy with
Hey,
Bobo
Sonny,
the clown? Or
it will never be close enough to wear that fake punt.
Oh, man.
He would just break the rule, and it would just only make him lose by.
The guy who can't manage funds is going to the team with the worst funds in the game. Yeah, that's going to go really well.
Oh, boy, Todd.
Does he struggle with funds? I didn't know that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You don't remember when he tanked the Jaguars? He completely made them unusable.
Yeah.
He signed some of the worst contracts ever in NBL.
Out. Don't forget that Homer Kyle Rudolph contract, that team friendly contract. Kyle Rudolph once was making $11 million a year as a third string tight end on Homer's Minnesota Vikings when he said he had no funds.
Well,
True story.
now we get to the fun part of the show, which is the Mr. Irrelevant pick of the NBL team selection show. You don't get to pick your team. Your team picks you, Double A, and congratulations. You get the Indianapolis Colts.
I think everybody called that before the draft.
Yeah, Sonny, how big of a dumpster fire is this Colts team?
Big dumpster fire. Big dumpster fire. Andrew Luck, yeah, he's okay. You'd take him. He feels pretty decent. The offensive line, a little better than we had projected. Quentin Nelson, he's a stud rookie. Ryan Kelly, the center. I don't know if Jack Muirt's in the game right now or not. He did retire, so we'll see how that goes. T.Y. Hilton's got the speed to get over top. A lot of questions in the secondary, though, of that team. You've got Malik Hooker, who actually is rated pretty low in this game. Surprisingly enough, they have nothing going on at linebacker. Jabal Sheard, outside backer, he's decent. You point to this team, you just go, I don't know what's good about it. It's got some decent things, but nothing that really stands out to you.
All right, folks, that is our complete team selection. Let's recap the divisions here with some great graphics here made by Bananas and MBM. Shout out to you guys. Let's start out with the division that filled up first. It's the NFC South. OSU taking the Falcons, Porter as the Panthers, Bob as the Saints, Jamie as the Buccaneers. Bomber, you said early this division filled up early. Should be an incredibly competitive division here in the NBL.
Yeah, absolutely love that division as you called it out. OSU, Porter, Bob, Jamie. That's going to be a really cool division to be a part of. I'm not a part of it, but to watch from afar, and I think all those guys will actually replicate my sentiments here. I think it will be a phenomenal, fun division to be a part of, and I think over the course of 7 to 9 seasons, it's going to be interesting to watch.
Let's go to the NFC West. Sonny Weaver took the Rams out of that one. Joining Sonny out there will be Serp as the Cardinals, Decadog as the San Francisco 49ers, and Hound as the Seattle Seahawks. Sonny, you look at this division. Hound, of course, one of the most improved owners we saw, a sneaky good team, as you would say. And then you got Serp and Decadog. What are you looking for from this NFC West?
Rams domination from start to finish, 7 titles, book it.
Modesty, as always, from Sonny Weaver. As we head to the NFC East lip, and this division is stacked with some talent. Z-Star as the Cowboys, Nemo as the Redskins, Dark Brawler as the Giants, and the best team in the division, ratings-wise, October as the Eagles. This one, a lot of powerhouse team, a lot of powerhouse owners.
Yeah, this is a great division. I'm excited to watch all 4 of these guys play throughout an entire cycle. It is going to be so much fun. You got October and DB being their favorite teams. You got Star taking the Cowboys, which was kind of surprising. And then Nemo gets the Redskins, which are a good team. Nemo has a good history in the NBL of putting together some wins, so that's going to be very exciting to watch through Madden 19.
And then let's round out the NFC with the NFC North. Bomber, your division, of course, Detroit Lions to Bomber. Draco as the Bears. Playa going to the Green Bay Packers. Tout going to the Minnesota Vikings. It should be interesting to see how this division plays out, Bomber. A lot of people saying it's a race for second place, but as you know, here in the NBL, you never know which one of these teams will come up as one of those teams that could challenge you for that division title.
Yeah, you got one of the best drafters in NBL history with Playa. Draco, one of the best defenses in the NBL, and Tout in the division. The Detroit Lions. Tout, I absolutely love you, man. I'm interested to see how those phones are going to go. Let's keep it moving. Let's wrap this show up.
Let's go to the AFC West. He just wants to skip the whole AFC. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's the average bad word conference, bro. I mean, that's what it is.
Frylock right as the Broncos. Fella going to the Chargers. MBM to the Chiefs. Doughboy to the Raiders. Lip, MBM and Doughboy in the same division. Fry and Fella taking the Chargers, a team that fell into his lap, as you would say. This division, you look at 3 to 4 guys. Let's just say 3. Fry, love you, buddy, but 3 guys who could definitely win a division titles.
Yeah, I think MBM is going to do a lot of great things with the Chiefs. Offense is unbelievable. If he can build a defense, I know he can play with a defense. It's going to be impressive to watch, I think. That's a big team to watch in the AFC for me.
Checking out the AFC North, Sonny Weaver. You don't see Lip's name here in the AFC North. Bananas as the Browns, Cougs as the Ravens, Eric as the Bengals, Timbo as the Steelers. Four very good owners, but the most surprising part, Sonny, is we don't see you as the Bengals. We don't see Lip as the Steelers.
Yeah, possibly the most talented division owner-wise, I think, in the league. You've got a lot of guys there with playoff experience. You got a lot of guys there with a lot of wins under their belt. So this will be one to watch as we go down. I think Eric G starts with the kind of the worst team there, but I think he could end up at the top when it's all said and done. I'm excited to watch this one.
Yeah, that AFC North right there is my favorite division. I'm excited to see Cougs and Bananas, Timbo and Eric G all together. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's go to the AFC East. Bomber, this AFC East. Pricey, JY, Sclam, and Homer. If there was a full-weight coin, you'd be flipping it right now. You have no idea who's going to come out of this division on top.
I absolutely do. And his name's going to be Pricey. Pricey's not even watching right now. Why am I going to hype him up? Pricey, I think he's going to come out, but the only obstacle that's going to get in his way is actually the game starting. He can't get a start on his Xbox. Please DM him if you have any solutions. He has not been able to play for 12 days.
And last but not least, let's take a look at the AFC South Lip. Your division taking the Jacksonville Jaguars, Unisolated taking the Titans, N-Train taking the Texans. 3 teams going in the top 10 AA. That team went in the top 32. Lip, what do you see from this division? A division with, I think, some very talented owners out there.
I think it's going to be a lot of focus on JJ Watt. That's going to be tough. But like I said, I'm going defense. Hopefully that helps me out. But JJ Watt, I've played against him. He's an absolute nightmare to block, so that's going to be exciting to deal with for most of the cycle.
What an absolutely unbelievable team selection show. Sonny, you've been here a while. You've watched these shows. Was this the most surprising that you've seen?
Yeah, this was the wildest one. A lot of things going down early on that I think affected everything from there. And those dominoes fell, and no one could have guessed this. I'll be curious who wins the team selection order kind of contest and what their final score was, because you
Like
can't
7.
feel like it's going to be very
Seven's
high.
got to be the number. Bomber,
Yeah.
last but not least, let's throw it to you as we head into season 33 of the NBL. What can people look forward to from the NBL going forward?
Well, innovation, pushing the envelope, those are all the things that we do. If you want to look at the NBL as a whole, we got 3 different facets. We got the league, we got the network, and we have 4 verts. 4 verts is the fastest growing Madden commentary thing. Shots fired. You know, you look at Sonny Weaver. He's doing a great job over there with that. Some great entertaining Madden stuff. Our Madden Bomber League, the league as a whole, still running. Engine smooth. It's like coming out V8, V12, looking phenomenal every year. And you're taking the network to all new heights. I'm going to be helping produce this cycle as well. So we're going to be taking it to the next level per usual. So guys, stay tuned. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Hit that subscribe button to win some great giveaways coming up. We gave away over 23 Madden copies over the last week and a half, guys. So stay tuned to this channel. A lot of cool giveaways come your way. OSU does a great job facilitating that to the people that subscribe to our channel, as well as followers and viewers of audience as well. So make sure you hit that follow button here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. A lot of things coming. Bonus coverage. Going to be a next level this cycle as well. NBL Live, always taking it to the next level. So I'm excited for it, man. What a great team selection. And that's all I got, OSU. That's all I have.
Yeah, what an unbelievable show. What an unbelievable year we are looking forward to here in Madden 19. We hope you will continue to tune into the NBL Network as we move into Season 33 and the Madden 19 cycle. We're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for spending your time with us here on this Sunday evening. For my co-hosts, Bomber, Lip, and Sonny, I am your network director, OSU. Thanks again for tuning in to the NBL Team Selection Show. Hit that follow button, and we hope to see you throughout the year right here on the NBL Network.